FA Cup is back. I love the FA Cup so much. And of course, we know that you all do as well. Playing Peterborough United this evening, a 7:15 kick-off. Now, City have only ever played Peterborough United once before in both of our clubs' histories. That was back in 1981 and ended in a 1-0 away win for City. Joining me in the studio, we have massive City fans. It is Big Steve and David Mooney. David, this is your second time on the show. Welcome back.
I'm experienced now, apparently.
You are. And Big Steve, welcome, making your debut. How are you feeling?
Great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Well, we know the FA Cup's all about the fans. We know how much the fans love the FA Cup, so we want to make this show all about the fans. So you guys are representing the fans this evening.
Oh, dear.
Now, you know this is the very first place to get your team news, so thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for coming here for your team news. We can give you that now, the second we are allowed to. So, the team news for tonight's FA Cup game against Peterborough. I can tell you there are 6 changes from the side that beat Everton at the weekend. It is Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Ake, Zinchenko, Fernandinho, Gundogan, Foden, Grealish, Mahrez and Jesus. So that is 6 changes from the team that beat Everton. Steve, anyone that surprises you there immediately that's in the team tonight?
It's great to see Zinchenko back in the squad. That's great for him. Fernandinho, he's getting on a bit now, but we need that experience in the FA Cup. And it's good to see the lads coming back from injury, especially Grealish, Jesus. I'm looking forward to the game now.
Me too. Right, your subs bench for this evening is Carson, Slicker, Stones, Sterling, Laporte, Rodri, De Bruyne and Silva. So a really strong squad this evening. It is a rotation of the first team squad solely, with the inclusion obviously of Kieran Slicker, who actually played last night in the Premier League too as well. So 6 changes from the team that beat Everton, David. But as I say, a full rotation of the first team squad. If we're going to start by looking at the back there, are you surprised that Edison starts? Obviously, we know that Zach Stefan is injured.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing for Stefan, isn't it? Because I thought he did well against Fulham. Bit unlucky with the opening goal, but other than that, I thought he did really well. And then after that, you've got the choice. Do you play your first team goalkeeper in Edison, or do you play your veteran in Scott Carson? Now, there's almost like a cult status around Scott Carson with the fans, who I think there'll be a lot of fans screaming at me here, going, "Well, obviously you play Carson." But no, it's a strong side, and you can understand him going with the strongest possible 11 for this game, because they don't disrespect the cups. It's as simple as that. They play a strong team in the cups, and you know what? It serves them well. They win a lot of them as well. So, if you want to give yourself your best chance, you play your best players, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. I'm always banging the drum.
I don't know why I'm not. I should be on the touchline here with stuff like that, shouldn't I?
We do. We respect all the competitions. Steve, looking at the back line there, we've got Cancelo, Diaz, Ake and Zinchenko. Presuming there, obviously, that Cancelo will be playing at right back tonight. Yeah. Have you got a preference for where he plays, or do you just like him everywhere?
No. Look, he's really versatile. You know what I mean? Everywhere he plays well. That's all about Cancelo, what he is, left back, right back, sometimes coming into midfield. So, no, the back four's looking strong. Like we said, Zinchenko's back in there. It's good to see Nathan back in there as well. I mean, Peterborough, I don't know who they've upset, but that is a strong side tonight. A very strong side.
I can just imagine when they got handed the team sheet. Yeah. You can imagine. I suppose there is the point of going, or there is the point of going, we are playing a world class. This is a respected, a respectful way that the team they've put out.
100%. I mean, if you're a player, you want to play the best, and league forms out the window tonight. This is an FA Cup tie. Peterborough can just go there. The fans are going to enjoy it, and it's almost a free hit. I don't like using that word, free hit, but sometimes you got to use it. And I think Peterborough are just going to relish the chance to come up against the champions.
Well, Grant McCann used it in his press conference this week, so you're all right. He himself called it a
well done,
free
Grant.
hit, so you're there. David Zinchenko comes into the team. We know all about Zinchenko. We know all about his character. Pep's talked about him in the press conference this week as well. And when in this sort of game, this sort of FA Cup game, he is the perfect person to play.
Yeah, it's been a difficult week, and I think to see him back in the team, it just shows what character he's got, because we saw in the pre-match against Everton just the emotions that were on show there. And then, obviously, like Guardiola said in the press conference, he's going to play tonight, and lo and behold, there he is in the starting lineup. He's not played for a while, has he? He's been out of the team for a while, and he's been one of those players where I've been thinking, you know what? I know Cancelo's been playing really well, but Zinchenko's a good option to have behind him there. So, maybe he could come in a bit more, because I don't want to burn Cancelo out, because he's been so key for this season. So I'm really pleased to see him back in. I love Zinchenko. I think the fact that he has built his City career around a position that he's not the one that he normally plays. I think that speaks volumes about him as a player and as a person. And so I'm really pleased to see him back tonight.
Yes, me too. I'm sure he's going to get incredible reception from the fans down in Peterborough. If we're moving forward there, give us an idea, Steve. I always like to play this game with people. Who do you think's going to play where? So what's your kind of forward line looking at that team?
Good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've just been discussing that. I've got a feeling Grealish might play in the middle, and I think Mahrez, Foden, and Jesus up front. I just like to see Jack in the middle today. Sometimes I feel like he gets a little bit isolated out wide, but if he's got that free role in the middle today where he can express himself, I think he played similar against Watford, and he had one of his better games. So I'm hoping that Jack Grealish today can almost do the De Bruyne, start pulling the strings in the middle, and that's what I'm hoping for. But you never know.
You never know. I know. I always say it. I enjoy working out. Yeah. Who's playing where in the first 10 minutes? David, what do you think? Who you think is going to be?
Oh, I was hoping I wouldn't get that question now. Yes. But I say I've made my bed. I'm going to line it now. I don't know. I think I'm like Steve. I'd like to see Grealish through the middle. I wouldn't be disappointed to see him in the left-hand side, because I think he's been fine this season. He's attracted a lot of. Again, Guardiola talked about it this week. Don't look at his statistics. Look at what he's actually bringing to the team. And he's been bringing a lot to the team. He might not have the goals and assists that people expected at this point of the season, but it doesn't always work like that. You don't always get that sort of output. One of his best games for City was at Brentford earlier in the season. They won 1-0. Grealish controlled that game. Didn't score or assist anything, but he was the reason why City controlled the game, and so that's how Guardiola looks at it. So I don't know where he's going to play. I hope he is through the middle. I'm really pleased to see Mahrez in the team. I've been crying out for him to be more involved in the last few weeks. I'm pleased to see him back, and Jesus as well has had a bit of a tough time with injury lately, so it's nice to see him get the start, and hopefully he can find a bit of rhythm ahead of what is undoubtedly going to be a really, really tough run in now in the Premier League as well. So we're going to need everybody. Hopefully it starts for him for tonight.
I am refusing to look beyond this game, David.
I understand.
I don't know who we play next. I'm a huge Mahrez fan as well. Thrilled to see him in the team. We saw at the start of the show the highlights from the Fulham game, obviously that he scored in as well. I just think he's in absolutely incredible form at the minute, Steve. I'm so happy to see him in the starting 11.
No, he's been brilliant this season. He's a big part of everything we do. You know what I mean? He's having a great season. I just think recently, with Pep leaving him out of the team, I just feel that Pep was keeping him as a little plan B option, just in case the starting 11 didn't go to plan, and you've always got someone on the bench of Mahrez's calibre to come on and change the game. Obviously, with Grealish and Jesus coming back now, I think you'll see Mahrez starting more, and I think we've got a lot more options available to us now. So, but Riyad's had a fantastic season, and he's doing well in this competition, so hopefully can get the goals today.
And he loves a penalty. David, I'm so happy to have someone now when they step up. I think, this is fine. I'm not worried.
He did something against Spurs here where the referee blew his whistle and he didn't move. He took about 2 or 3 seconds just to compose himself. And I love that, because it said, I know it's the 90th minute. I know we're a goal down and we need to score this. OK, the game didn't turn out as we'd hope. But, we need to score this. And he went, I'm not rushing this. I'm taking my time and I'm going to put it where I want to put it. And he did it. He stepped up fine. And the only penalty I think he's ever missed for City was at Anfield. And I think given that they won the title that season, and given the number of penalties he's scored since, I think we can forgive him that now, can't we?
I have certainly forgiven him for that. And yet, you're right, he just looked so cool and calm, and that it radiates onto me and makes me feel cool and calm and have faith that we're going to score penalties now, which is wonderful.
Just don't want it to go to penalties tonight.
I would rather it didn't, yes, because there is no replay, so it would be extra time and penalties this evening. So yes, let's hope we're not going to be. Let's avoid
100%.
that. If we're looking at the middle of the park there, Steve, we've got Fernandinho starting captain this evening. It is, and I often say it is a joy every time that he plays now, because I am fearful that it may be every time we see him, it's like a privilege now. His contract comes up at the end of the season. We don't know what's going to happen with it. I hope he stays forever. I think he could play forever. Are you happy to see him in the starting 11 tonight?
Yeah, 100%. I think we all know what Fernandinho's about. He brings that calmness, level-headedness, and then he always brings a bit of carnage as well near the end when he's getting a bit tired. But I think in these cup games, you need an experienced player like Fernandinho who's been there, and he can soak it all up, get the team playing. And it's good to see him playing in these cup competitions. I think, Pep's using him wisely. He's wrapping him in cotton wool. Obviously, we know he's not as fresh as he was, but these are his games. These are where Fernandinho comes into it. He likes these cold, wet FA Cup games where he can slide around and just be Fernandinho. So I'm looking forward to that.
I love that. Yeah, that's bang on.
He'll score tonight. I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling he'll score tonight.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What's making you think that?
Absolutely nothing. I don't know. No idea where that's come from.
I thought you were going to pounce a mad stat there.
No, as Steve was talking, then I thought, yeah, I can see all that. Fancy him to score tonight.
So if he plays in the Champions League return leg with Sporting Lisbon, David, it'll be his 100th Champions League appearance.
That's a stat.
Brilliant.
That's nuts, right?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He's genuinely a legend of the game now.
He is. I mean, you forget. Like, he signed in 2013, and was he 26 when he signed, or something like that? 25, 26. And so, like, we were sitting there thinking, well, he's not going to still be here in nearly 10 years, is he? And then, lo and behold, he's still here. He's like, even towards the end of last season, he was the one that was coming in for the crucial games, and just dictating the pace. So it's an absolute credit to him. He's not just a City legend. He's Premier League legend at this point. He has done so much in his time in England that you forget how long he's been here. It's incredible.
And not only is he still playing 10 years later, he's captaining the Premier League champions, Steve, which says so much about him.
Yeah, I think he just gets Manchester City. I think he's just one of us. You know what I mean? He's just, to be here this length of time, you know what I mean? He just knows what it means to be a Blue, and he leads by example on the pitch and off the pitch. Even at weekend at Everton, I seen him going up to certain players after the game, half-time, having a little word here and there. And I think that's what you need from him, you know what I mean? He's an experienced head. We've got a lot of young kids coming through at this football club now. And having someone like Fernandinho around, just in training, day-to-day, telling you about, certain games, what you should do, how you should apply yourself, I think it's brilliant.
I love him. Me too. I absolutely love him. Thank you very much, gents. If you would like to ask our guests a question tonight, as always, you can do so by using our WhatsApp number. Send them in, pick the brains, ask them anything you'd like to know about them. I will do my best to get through as many as I can, as always. Now, it's time to play our game, Who's Stat? David, did you play this last time?
I was on the debut one, and it wasn't. I wasn't fantastic. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, I've got to admit, I saw this one and I got it immediately. So if you both don't get it straight away, I'm going to be disappointed in both of you. Don't shout it out. So basically what you have to do is our game, Who's Stat? We give you 3 clues and you have to work out who the current or former Manchester City player is. Nice and simple. Who's Stat this evening? Clue 1. This player has had 25 goal involvements in 31 games this season. That's pretty easy, I think, gents.
And you got that first
immediately,
time?
Yes. I love a start, David. What are you thinking? No names. But do you think clue who it is?
I've got an idea, but if I was going to gamble now,
okay,
then it would be a bit of a gamble. I'm kind of thinking maybe I'd want a bit more information.
Okay, so you're going to wait for clue 2 to put your money down.
Yeah.
Okay, are you waiting for clue 2, Steve?
No, I think I know who it is.
There you go. Or that could be Sean Gertle comes on this show, by the way, just goes, yeah, I know who it is. But there's no way of asking out, like, finding out if he does or not.
I never thought saying that.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's just say it with confidence. So we'll do clue 2 a little bit later on, and then we'll give you clue 3 at half time, and then we'll let you know who the winner is. Now, you may have noticed in the studio as well, I'm sure that your eyes are immediately drawn to the 2 large jars of Cadbury's Eclair toffees that we have in the studio. They are sealed, by the way. I've attempted to open them on several occasions. So we are playing a game. You just basically got to guess how many eclairs are in the jars. So there's 2 jars of them there. And if you get it right, you will win this signed Bernardo Silva home shirt. There it is. There's his signature from the man himself. Now, to take part, you can do so up until Sunday's game against Manchester United. There I said it. You can do it up until Sunday. Let us know how many toffees are in the jars. Tweet us. Hashtag Man City shirt. That's all you need to do. Hashtag Man City shirt with the number of eclairs you think are in both the jars. You were immediately looking at them when you came in as well, Steve. Have you got a guess or anything you could help the people at home with? You're up close. You can see the size.
I'm going to count them at half time and I'll let you know.
See, they're sealed. This is why.
I've brought some sellotape though, so I'm going to seal them back up.
Genius.
I just worry that if they get opened before half time, then the number of sweets in there will change quite dramatically before the end of tonight's game.
Again, that is another reason, because was it sweets number of when they came in or number when they go actually get counted? Because I love a Cadbury's Eclair. So do take part in that to win this Bernardo Silva signed shirt. So we're going to have a look now at the Peterborough starting 11 for tonight's FA Cup game, 7:15 kickoff. So there is your starting 11 for Peterborough. It's Bender, Edwards, Kent, Samodix, Grant, Knight, Poku, Jones, Ward, Fuchs and Coulson. That is your starting 11 for Peterborough for this evening. Obviously, Peterborough Championship side currently sitting bottom of the Championship. Gents, it's a tough one because I watch City every game. I don't watch Peterborough every game. What do you make of the Peterborough side, David?
Like you say, it's hard to know because, like you, I watch City every weekend. I don't watch. I've not seen much of Peterborough this season. We spoke to a Peterborough fan on the podcast this week, and he was basically saying that they've had a tough season. They've found it really tough in the Championship this year. It's difficult to know how they'll go about trying to stop City. You'd imagine City would have a lot of the ball anyway, so I can see it being, if it's not a back five, then I can see it being pushed back into a back five, if that makes sense. So it's hard to judge. You would imagine that they'll really try and pack the defence, make sure there's not much space for City to get through. And there's a couple of names in there that kind of that ring true. I mean, you think of Fuchs and Leicester City. I'm not even sure if it's the same fella, but you know he's caused City problems in the past. If it is.
So, Ricky J. Jones starts tonight for Peterborough. He's scored in 3 of his 4 FA Cup appearances for Peterborough. But, Steve, they've all come as a substitute. And now he starts. So, will he carry on that scoring form? So it's 1 goal every 26 minutes in the competition because he's only played 79. That's a steiner.
Well, he deserves his start if he's pulling them goals out. But I think it's going to be tough for him. As you can see in the Championship, they've struggled this season. I expect City to totally dominate the ball. But like you say, they've just got to dig deep, Peterborough. We've seen some upsets this year in the FA Cup. So I'm sure they're going to draw inspiration from that. And like you say, it's a classic cup tie. You know what I mean? It's cold. It's rainy. You know, it is what it is. It's a free hit. We're saying it again. It's a free hit.
In terms of their form this calendar year, since the start of the year, David, Peterborough have not won in the league. Their 2 wins this calendar year, have come in the FA Cup. So the fact that they've already got to this round is a big achievement for them.
Yeah, it is. Listen, like Steve says, they're not looking at this game thinking, right, this is an opportunity to go through to the next round. They know that it's a tough task against City tonight. So they'll be looking at this as, you know, it's a challenge. We want to go up against the Premier League champions. We want to go up against the team that is going to try and defend the title again this season. And they won't go into it with the expectations of we are going to knock this team out. They'll go into it, if we play to our best, we can make it really hard for them tonight. And that's kind of where they're at the moment. You look at the league table. I mean, we're at the point in the season now where the league table has taken shape. So they're not bottom of the Championship by accident. Things haven't gone right for them this season. They've had a couple of promotions from League One. They've had a couple of relegations from the Championship. It's nothing that they can necessarily not bounce back from. But yeah, this season hasn't exactly been ideal.
We're seeing Grant McCann there. He's the new manager. Darren Ferguson resigned after their last game. They got beat by Hull. They are bottom of the Championship. They're below Derby County, who've had that massive points deduction. Grant McCann has managed them before as well, so he does know the club. Steve, is there a chance of a new manager bounce? A free hit, a new manager? Maybe.
Yeah, it happens a lot. A new manager comes in, fresh ideas, training sessions are different. Just gives the club a bit of a lift. If you're going to ask him, do you want your next game to be against Manchester City? He's probably going to say no. But yeah, listen, it can happen, and I'm sure the Peterborough fans that go in there tonight just want a performance from the team, just to give it a go against the best team in England.
Now, you mentioned some giant killings in the Cup this year. Obviously, I love a giant killing when it's not us.
Yes.
There's been some great ones this year. There's also been some horrific ones against us in the past as well. Now, the ones that are immediately standing out to me, 2014. If I say 2014 Wigan to you, David.
Wigan Athletic, Etihad Stadium. Uwe Rosler, Wigan manager, everything adding up to the big story. I think was it not? Have they not knocked us out 3 times in a row now?
They beat us in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, they beat us in the FA Cup final.
There they are now.
They beat us in 2014, the year after.
Yeah,
and then Guardiola, 2018. Yeah.
Well, there we go. We're seeing it now. If you needed any reminder of it. Were you at that? Were either of you at that game?
Yeah, I was at this game, and I was annoyed with the way it went because I thought Pellegrini had made enough changes to the team to keep players fresh in order for it was Barcelona coming up away in the midweek, I think, afterwards. And I thought he'd made enough changes here to keep it fresh for that one, to give them a chance in that. But they should also have enough to get past Wigan. And then the game just got away from them in that first half, didn't it?
It really did. I was there as well. I can remember it like yesterday. And it is that kind of Wigan bogey team that we have now. Because as you mentioned, it's not just Pellegrini. They did it under Pep as well.
Yeah, you always think, don't you? As long as Wigan are in the cups, City might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Were either of you at that FA Cup final?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Me too. I was there as well. Right. So Wigan also beat us in 2018. Do you remember the goal scorer?
No, not at all. I remember them invading the pitch like they'd won the cup. I just remember me getting an early dart out of there.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've seen enough. I need to get back.
Will Grigg?
It is Will Grigg, yes.
Was on fire?
That name is like etched into my head, yes. Let's have a look at it if you wondered.
Oh, do we have
Here
to?
he goes. Do you remember this moment, David?
I do. I was, I say I do. A funny story. I didn't actually see the goal go in live because my dad we were watching on TV at home, and my dad tripped the power, so everything went off.
It's fine.
And we didn't see the goal,
and
then we turned it back on. It's like, oh, we're losing, are we? Apparently, that's the thing.
Did someone get sent off that game for us?
Oh,
good
question.
I think Kyle Walker or someone got
Fabian Delph.
Oh, it was Delph.
It was. If you remember, Anthony Taylor booked him, or had his yellow card out, ready to book him, and then changed his mind.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a bad night at the office. That.
Yes. Now, it's one that they're never going to let us forget either. And in fact, in his press conference this week, Pep was actually asked about the defeat and also playing lower league teams. This is what he had to say.
I think in general we behave incredibly well against these lower teams, or not teams in the lower division, sorry. We perform seriously, and remember Newport, with my friend Michael and other Cheltenham, like 82, 83 minutes, we were 1-0 down. So we know it, we feel it, and we'll be freezing. I don't know how we'll have completely different the game here at the stadium, away, FA Cup, everything can happen. So we know it, but in general we behave really well, and hopefully tomorrow again.
Yes. We know it, Pep. We do know it, and let's hope we don't know it at the end of the game, because we love a giant killing, just not us. And there was another one that we got beat by Middlesbrough as well a few years ago as well. So there has been a few. Does that sit in the back of your mind at all?
Again, like we were saying earlier, though, with Guardiola, I think there's only Wigan that have been a lower league side that have knocked him out of the cup, because I think he takes it so seriously. Yeah. He keeps it's no accident that he's lost Wembley semi-finals, but by the time they've got there, they've been playing Chelsea and Arsenal. They've been playing teams that it's not a shock when they beat City. So I think that Guardiola takes the. I mean, we've seen the team tonight. It's such a strong lineup that he's leaving nothing to chance, is he? So I think you can look at those previous eliminations to lower league sides under previous managers and go, well, you upset the rhythm a bit too much. You make too many changes. It can be hard. Guardiola doesn't do that. So there's a reason why City's record is as good as it is. And
I love that about us, Steve. I'm really proud of the fact that we respect every cup competition and we go out there and want to win every one of them.
No, yeah, it's great. It's great that Pep does that. His manager's getting criticised for not taking it seriously. And if any team had a reason to not take it seriously, it'd be teams that are challenging for league titles, because obviously can say, look, we're putting all our eggs in that basket. But we challenge on every front, you know what I mean, every competition, and we find ourselves late on in the season going for more or less every competition. I mean, and as a supporter, that's what you want, it's your dream. But you've got to take your hat off to Pep. He's one of the managers, he doesn't disrespect the competition, and he plays a great team every time.
And I love that.
I love it too.
Serial winner. Yeah.
Proud of us for that. Now, tonight is a very special evening. Of course, it's the FA Cup. But for one man, it's even more special. Alan White is a unique fan whose love affair with both of tonight's teams spans 50 years. His story is really incredible. He has supported City for his whole life, but he also works for Peterborough and has done for most of his life as well. Never missed a home game, and is also a City season ticket holder. Now, he's even managed to watch both teams live on several occasions, but the schedules have brought up his Peterborough versus his Manchester City. It's just a wonderful, unique story, and here it is.
City back in the 80s and 90s, we were a band of brothers. I loved going away with them. We'd lose nearly everywhere we'd go. The banter was fantastic. The support was amazing. Those supporters are still there. Every single person of my age who follows City, we've stuck with them throughout. We deserve what we're now getting. We've earned that right. All of us, whether we live in Manchester, whether we live in Abu Dhabi or wherever, we've earned that right because we've been there right throughout the bad times. Hi there, my name's Alan White. I've supported Manchester City since I was 4 years old. I'm now 59 and I've worked here at London Road this is my 50th season. It's a 50-year love affair. I feel like someone who's had an affair and has been caught out. Well, I think all children are led by the team at the time, whoever's the best. So I grew up, I'm 4 years old. City are just starting to get going. They've got Franny Lee, they've got Mike Summerby, they've got Colin Bell. They was the United or the Liverpool of the late 60s, and I just fell in love with them. I love the name, I love the colour, everything about them. It just spread from that. It's no different to anybody else who supports any other team because they're a good side. But unlike most, I actually took it up and and followed them as well. Yeah, I'll always get ones who say I don't support either team because you can't support two teams. I understand where they're coming from. I can't help what I love and what I do. It's in me. It's in here. I actually do support both clubs wholeheartedly. I can't be in two places at once at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So if Peterborough's at home, this is where I am. If they're away, I'm at the Etihad, or Main Road as it was back in the day. Right, OK, I started off selling golden goal scratch cards in the car park. So I'd run around the car park getting everybody coming out of the cars. I then moved on to the turnstiles when I was 17 years old, and now I'm on the outside operator for the turnstiles. This is my 50th season. Do we say we haven't missed a game for 50 years, or do we say 49? Depends how you look at it. Yeah, the first time it happened, where I watched them both on the same day, Kevin Keegan's City played Birmingham on a 12 o'clock kickoff, and at 3 o'clock Peterborough played Oldham. So I left City at 2 o'clock and was there comfortable. Peterborough lost 2-0. So that was my first time of watching them both on the same day. Then on the Tuesday I was here, Peterborough won 6-1 against Bournemouth. The next time I watched them both, it was City at home at 12 o'clock and Peterborough at Rochdale. I've done it once when Posh played at 12:30 in the Northwest and City were at 5 o'clock. So tomorrow night will actually be the 6th time I've watched both teams on the same day. It was everything. It was a dream come true. And I've had to wait 41 years again for it to come around. But yeah, no, it was. So like I said, I just wanted a draw. When Tommy Booth scored, it didn't bother me. I was pleased for City fans and myself. But I wanted Peterborough to equalise more than anything. I don't think Peterborough have got a chance tomorrow night. I really don't. But if they pulled off some sort of miracle, there wouldn't be a Peterboroughian more prouder than what I would be tomorrow. Look, for me, I first watched Pep when he was at Barcelona and he come to Main Road. They schooled us, they absolutely slaughtered us, and I walked away with a smile on my face because I'd watched something beautiful. When he became manager of City, I knew what I was getting. And he's fulfilled every dream that I could possibly ever imagine. Apart from the Champions League, yes, if we win it, we win it. But I'd rather win the league this year. Well, it's 41 years since it last happened, and every single cup draw, that's all I've ever wanted. I went to bed that night thinking, I looked at the numbers, Peterborough were 4, and I thought City was a different number to what they actually were. So when he come out at number 4, Peterborough United, I'm saying to myself over and over, please. And when it was something different, I went, no, not again. And then he went Manchester City, and I nearly fainted. But yeah, honestly, it was emotional. It really hit home to me about an hour afterwards when my phone didn't stop ringing, my social media went mental. I want City to put out as strong a team as possible. I want to show the people of Peterborough what I see. All I want to see tomorrow night is Kevin De Bruyne spraying passes around this pitch. That's what I want. I want people to see how good that man is. I want City to turn it on, but I want Peterborough to try and live with them, and they won't be able to. It's expected. City are expected to win. We go on to the next round. All I'll say is I'm probably the only person who's guaranteed to be in the quarterfinals here tomorrow night.
Oh, Alan, we love you, Alan. We salute your passion for both clubs. I could see that in his eyes there, the love that he has for both clubs. And there's his Peterborough coming out now to warm up. So, Alan, have a wonderful night, whatever the score. And thank you for your incredible support over all this time. I loved it. Also, his passion almost got me there, gents, because you could see it in his eyes, couldn't you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, fair play to him. That's a great story, and he obviously loves his football. He loves Peterborough. He loves Man City. And tonight's it's all about Alan tonight. It's Alan's night. So good luck, Alan. And I don't know who he wants to win. Who does he want to win?
Yeah. Well, he said he'd be happy with Kevin De Bruyne, but he's on the bench, isn't he? So if Kevin De Bruyne comes on, Alan will be happy.
No,
now,
that's great. It's great, that.
The FA Cup obviously means so much to all of us as fans. It's something that we all grew up watching and grew up dreaming about. Have you got a kind of first FA Cup memory, Steve, that really sticks out in your mind?
My first one was a bad one. It was Notts County away. 1991, I think. I remember it being really, really cold, really, really icy. And I'm a young kid, and I'm thinking Manchester City, we're the big dogs. We're going in there. Notts County, no problem. You're only young. And we literally threw the kitchen sink at Notts County that day. They had Neil Warnock as manager, and they had a goalkeeper called Steve Cherry. And I'll never, ever forget his name because he saved everything. And I mean saved everything. And then just to make it worse, 89th minute, Notts County go up the other end and score. They win the cup tie 1-0. Pitch invasion, proper. And me as a young lad had to get the coach back to Manchester. And let me tell you, Monday morning in Manchester going into a school full of Reds was hard. It was hard, but I took it on the chin.
Yeah, I started supporting City in '93, so I didn't have the pleasure of that one. But I had a lot of early morning school trips I was dreading to go in.
I was going to
later
say,
in the '90s.
Didn't exactly go up from there, did it? So
no, it really didn't. Yes. Have you got any more any positive ones or no?
You know, in the early days, we had the odd positive one, but the ones that stick out are the ones, especially now because I appreciate the FA Cup more. The one at Cardiff as well, Ninian Park, crazy place. Nathan Blake goal. It was just, as you can see, I was there.
I love that kid, by the way.
You know, it was, you know, in them days. Let me just tell you, the FA Cup in them days was character building. That's what I'm saying.
I think we all understand. The 1991 game against Notts County, we couldn't find any pictures or any footage. It was that long ago. No, that's not saying anything about our ages.
Are we all feeling young?
I know, right? David, what's your kind of first FA Cup memory?
I've definitely been to FA Cup games before this, but my first memory of feeling really, really bitter about an FA Cup result, because that's what the cup does to you, isn't it? Is Middlesbrough came to Main Road, and I think the winning goal was scored by Gianluca Festa. Yeah. But I, from memory, he should have been sent off, because I'm fairly sure he caught Steve Lomas with a stray arm or a stray elbow at some point. And I remember absolutely fuming in the North Stand about how this guy shouldn't be on the pitch, and he's gone and scored the winner. And I think to rub salt into the wounds, I think Uwe Rosler missed a penalty in the second half. And it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, this is what the FA Cup is then, is it? This is just disappointment, despair, it's annoyance, it's anger. That's what it is it? That's what I'm growing up with.
Was that when Middlesbrough were mega as well and they had loads of stars in the team?
Yeah, they made the final that year, I think. I got a feeling they didn't win it, but I think they got to the final.
Do you know what I remember as well? I remember the Tottenham game at Main Road, when Terry Phelan scored a goal, the best goal. We got beat 5-2, I think. It was a pitch invasion. Terry Phelan ran the length of the pitch, did a 1-2 from full-back, scored the best goal you're ever going to see. I think we'd been tipped that year to win the FA Cup by Alan
Then he didn't
Hampson.
Celebrate it because it was a consolation.
And the game just had everything. But that was another one that sticks in my mind. Another one where we didn't win.
I don't want to continue this theme, but my first one that sticks in my mind, we also got beat.
Yeah.
This is like a theme of the 90s, right?
Oh.
It was when we played Leeds in 1999. We'd just gone up from the playoff final. We were in Division 1, was it then? And I was excited to play Leeds.
It was
top. They were huge.
Yeah, top of the Premier League against top of the Championship of what is now the Championship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the shots there.
Ian Bishop scored a cracking goal that game.
Did he?
This is it there, that gone. Ian Bishop. Watch that goal if you can get that goal anywhere.
I don't know why I remember this, but Andy Gray says after that goal on the commentary, we know that about Ian Bishop. He has got lovely feet. And I don't know why I remember that line, but it's always stuck in my head. It's a cracking finish.
It's true. It's true as well. Yeah. I think for me, similar to the Middlesbrough one, for me, it's because Leeds were so big back then, and I think they got to the semi-final in Europe that year as well. And so for me, it was like putting ourselves up against an incredible team.
Second half wasn't an easy watch, though, was it?
No, we went ahead early in that game as well, didn't we? And Leeds came back, and they were class then.
Yes, so this is nice. It's like therapy, isn't it? Reminders of the 90s. Has anyone else got do you want to see a cracker from Michael Brown?
I was going to say, I remember being in the North Stand for Michael Brown's goal against Darlington, because it was, I'm fairly sure Halifax and Darlington are the only times City have ever played in the first and second round of the FA Cup. And I remember beating Halifax 3-0 at Main Road. The game at Feetham's against Darlington finished 1-1, and Paul Dickoff got us out of the muck right at the end because he scored a cracker. And it went to extra time. Michael Brown pops up with genuinely
great goal,
fantastic goal, a goal that would grace a European Cup final.
Right then, well, we're blessed. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go.
I mean, it looks a bit scrappy to start with.
Then he turns into Messi.
Let's have a look.
There he is. He's picked it up now. He's thinking there's no way he's going to score from here. And then suddenly, he's one-on-one with the keeper and goes, no, I'll just pop it round him.
No, he's not going to score. No!
Told you it was like Messi.
Fantastic goal.
Feet
goal
there from Michael Brown. I wonder if he's listening now because he's on co-coms tonight for the game. Michael Brown. Wow. We're all stunned by that. There he goes. Round the keeper. So this was Darlington 1998.
Yeah. David Priest in goal for Darlington there. For anybody who's on Twitter who wants goalkeeping opinions, David Priest is your man. So that's beaten by Michael Brown there.
Thankfully, we have better memories now, we? Oh, and there he is. There's our boy, Zinchenko, getting high-fived off the Peterborough mascot, whose name, apologies, I don't know.
Look like Super Mario, though. Oh, Luigi. Look like Luigi, yeah.
Yeah, well, need to try and find out the name of that mascot. You can see the starting 11 for tonight's game on your screen as well. 6 changes from the team that beat Everton at the weekend. But thankfully, gents, we now have positive, fond memories of the FA Cup. The 90s is gone, David.
Yes, I mean, that is good. I mean, like, City have won the Cup twice recently. It's like that we could quite easily have come in here and said, yeah, we've got great memories of the FA Cup, but where's the fun in that?
Right, we've got some questions for you both. Thank you to everybody for sending in those questions via WhatsApp. We'll start with Drahuv, and apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Try my very best there. Right, we've got a question for Stephen. For Stephen. Oh, Big Steve. Stephen, that threw me there.
His Sunday name.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yes, right, lovely. Who do you think will be City captain after Fernandinho?
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz. Okay, why?
I just think he's got all the qualities. He's a leader. You know, he gets what we're about. He's already sort of captain material now, but I just think, yeah, natural. Give it Diaz.
I know from following you on Twitter that you love him more than I do, by the way.
I am a big fan of
Ruben
Diaz.
Yes, you are. Yeah. I know that.
The thing with Ruben Diaz, there's an image that says to me captain material, and that is City had won earlier in the season at Stamford Bridge. The away end is going bananas. Yep. The team are in front of him. He's taking his shirt off. He says to me that it's iconic, isn't it? As this is your man who is going to follow Fernandinho. Now at this point, I don't know because did the squad not vote on it? I think yes. Guardiola says the squad votes on it. So it might be a different member of the squad that they've all got. Actually, this guy's a man. But if it's Diaz, you can't really have any complaints.
I know your partner got you a major Ruben Diaz calendar.
Other way around.
Oh, you made your partner Ruben. I was going to say you should start flogging those. By the way, you should start printing them.
I didn't exactly have all the rights to the images, so let's let's not say
black market Ruben Diaz calendars. Love that. Right, next question for the panel from Manish. Will Jack Grealish suit better in a left-sided central midfield position? Pep can try and reinvent a position for him in midfield for a better impact.
Good question. My gut instinct is that I think he's more likely to stay wide for the time being. You look at Bernardo this season's been fantastic in that position. You know, De Bruyne wants to play in that position as well. There's so many options that City have there. I mean, Foden wants to play in that position as well. I think one of the biggest assets that City have is that, I mean, we've seen the starting lineup for tonight's game. We don't know who's going to be playing there, and I think that's a real asset for City because it means that, you know, any opposition manager looks at it and goes, well, okay, I've got the list of names, but that doesn't really tell me a lot about how they're going to try and approach this game. Grealish is definitely suited to somebody who can play wide. He can play in the middle as well. I suspect we will start to see more of him in the middle as time goes on, but I don't think it'll be necessarily a quick process. So I can see him playing wide for a lot longer than maybe many people think.
What do you make of Grealish's positioning?
Yeah, I agree. We're sort of spoilt for riches there, so it's hard to get him in. I think eventually we'll end up in a more central role. I think that suits him a bit better, but I don't think it's any time soon. I think if he's getting in the starting lineup wide left at the minute, he's just going to have to cope with that. But hopefully tonight, me personally, would love to see him in the middle.
We've got a question from TJ who would like to know, are you fans of inverted wingers or do you prefer natural wingers if you were setting up the team?
This comes up all the time this season, and my answer to this changes week on week, and I think what that says is that I'm probably not a fan of it, but equally I'm not a fan of it, if that also makes sense, because City... We always think of the classic Guardiola City lineup as Sane wide left, Sterling wide right, and Aguero through the middle. Well, two of those players aren't at City anymore. City have moved on from that lineup, and they've kind of adapted to how they're going to play for the last couple of years. Inverted wingers isn't a new thing. You know, they've been doing this now for a few seasons, and they've won a couple of titles doing it. So it clearly works. It clearly has an impact, and I think that. So I think it depends on the game. Sometimes you can look at the game and go, City are not getting anywhere with these inverted wingers. And you watch it. I mean, Pep did it at Everton. He swapped the wingers over. And so it happens. There are so many options that City have, like we say, at the top of the pitch. It could be inverted. It could not be inverted. And I think the ability to change that in a game without making a substitution is probably a big help to City. So I don't have a problem with inverted wingers. I do still think back to that classic lineup of City on the break with Sane and Sterling on the left and the right. But those days have gone, and we're doing all right with what we've got at the minute. So I'm not going to grumble.
Yes, certainly not. Steve, do you have a preference?
I just think the way we play at the minute, if you're playing old-fashioned type wingers, they like to get on the outside and get the crosses in the box. But there's not many people in the box at the minute, you know what I mean? A lot of the false nine is dropping deep. So I think it suits us at the minute, the way we play, to come inside a lot. And listen, we can't argue with the way Pep sets the team up. We're getting results. We're top of the league. So just stick to what we're doing. That's what I'm saying.
I like it. Trust
in the manager. Yeah.
Trust in Pep. Always.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sending your WhatsApp questions in. Do keep sending them in. I'll get as many asked to the gents as possible. Now, you know many things about this club that I am proud about. We've talked about the fact that we are proud that we always put out a strong team in the FA Cup. You all know how proud I am about City in the community. I talk about them all the time. I'm also hugely proud of the incredible Same Goals campaign that we have been running for the last 5 years. Because it's not men's football, it's not women's football, it's just football.
Football. It's my life. It's my time to play. It's my time to show we can play. My way of showing how far we've come.
We're creating a movement.
Getting girls, scoring goals.
Share your goal on social media. Don't forget the hashtag. Everyone who takes part will receive a limited edition Puma football.
It's not men's football.
It's not women's football.
It's just football. Same game, same goals.
The pitch is big enough for all of us.
So get yourselves involved. We just want you to film yourselves scoring a goal, or indeed saving if you are a goalie, saving or scoring a goal. Put it on to social media and use the hashtag #SameGoals, and you will get a limited edition Puma football. Such a wonderful campaign. You can see the starting 11 going across the bottom of your screen there, of course. It's Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Ake, Zinchenko, Fernandinho, Gundogan. Is that Jack Grealish? That is Jack Grealish with a slick back haircut.
Yeah, the hairs.
Right?
We had this on the last one, didn't we? The haircut had happened, and then it hadn't happened in the space of 10 minutes. I don't understand how it works. But when that photograph was taken, apparently he had short hair. Who knew?
He is a hair genius, the way that he switches it up and just fools me there. Riyad Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus, and Phil Foden. Now, you know on this show that we absolutely love to get our guests playing games. We generally don't tell them we're going to play a game with them because we don't want them to not turn up. So we haven't told them we're going to play a game. But gents, we're playing a game. Are you excited?
Oh, good.
Thrilled.
Similar to the Legends response when we get them playing games as well. Now, this is a lovely game, though. We're not getting you doing anything embarrassing like we have done for some of our other guests. As you may know by now, everybody, it is World Book Day on Thursday. Yes, brace yourselves. Your social media will be full of little kids dressed as book characters as they go off to school. My son is very excited. You're lucky because we were going to ask you to come in as your favourite book characters, but it was just a bit.
He's already turned up as Harry Potter.
I mean, before I had my eyes done, then yeah, maybe.
My son actually has a Harry Potter costume. That is what he might end up going as. Now, last year, City in the Community and City's Academy celebrated World Book Day with several players from the men's under-18s and women's development squads taking time out to virtually visit some of City in the Community's Premier League Primary Stars sessions, where they discussed their favourite books. So we thought we'd see if you guys could guess the book or who it is about. Now, they're Man City books, so that should be a good start. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quote from a book, and you've got to try and work out either what the book is or who the quote was about. So
okay,
it shall all make sense. Right, number one. So here is your quote from the book. I've known David for a number of years now, and I'll be disappointed if he hasn't included my 100th City goal against United, there's your clues, or my final game against Southampton in 2003. So who could be saying this, and any ideas on the book?
This has got to be a certain Bermudan centre forward, hasn't it?
I was thinking.
Yeah, is there only one Bermudan centre forward that comes to mind?
Well, there's a very famous one, yeah.
There's only one.
Yeah, is the book Feed the Goat?
So, the book is not Feed the Goat, but it is a Sean Goater quote. So, it is from, here you go, let's have a look. So the book is Manchester City on This Day, History, Facts and Figures from Every Day of the Year. It's written by our very own David Clayton, who works at Manchester City, and it was Sean Goater talking about the book. So I'm going to give you that a point on Sean Goater. And where did you get it? This 100th goal from United or the last game in 2003?
The United, yeah. I mean, I knew he was captain for his last game against Southampton because it was the last game at 100 goals coming up against United. Like, no City fans forgetting that.
Is it was his 100th on the bar when he nipped it off Neville?
No, that was 99.
No. That was 99?
99, he nicked off Neville. 100, he dinked over Bartes.
Oh, I love that. I've said it on this show many times. Our regular viewers will roll their eyes. I have a painting of that goal in my downstairs toilet.
Right, it's a great finish again.
Love it.
Another good finish.
Love it. Sean Goater loves that story like these in my downstairs toilet. That's what he gets for being my second most favourite City player of all time. Right, the next one. So, here is your quote. But what could this man have done that was so inexplicably evil? Was he a mass murderer? Was he after world domination? No. What he had attempted to do was far worse. He came up with the idea that Manchester City and Manchester United should merge and become one club. Have you any idea who that is about?
I have no idea
have you
whatsoever.
Heard that story before?
No, listen, I remember something's ringing a bell about that. But I think it's that utter nonsense. I've just put it to the back of my mind somewhere, so I ain't got a clue.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that?
No! Oh, goodness.
Is this down my spine?
Right.
Is this a Gary James book about the history of Manchester football?
Yeah, it could be.
It is not a Gary James, but it is a history book about City. So let's have a look. So the book is Manchester City, The Secret History of a Club That Has No History by Mike Devlin. Now that is a chapter on Frank Johnson. It is from the mid-60s when apparently he wanted to merge the clubs. Can you imagine we playing in purple shirts now? Purple! I don't want to wear purple.
Not for me.
Stripes.
Right. No, that is absolutely crazy, but that looks like a cracking book there. Love that story. Right, here's your last one. So we see we've been kind, really. Okay, so here's your quote. As he lined up in the tunnel with his teammates, so-and-so could hear the songs of the Manchester City fans filling the Etihad Stadium. They were always great supporters, but... had never heard them make this much noise. It was a sunny day, and at 5 o'clock that afternoon, Manchester City could be the champions of England for the first time in 44 long years. Any ideas who the is?
Is it maybe the player that scored the goal that made them champions?
Is the player that scored? I don't know. What do you think, Steve?
It could be.
It could be Sergio, couldn't it?
It could
Have
be.
you got a Manchester City library in your house?
I haven't.
You appear to be quite good at this.
I definitely haven't seen the answers. No, I haven't seen the answers, I promise you. Yeah, I think it's Aguero.
You think that's about Steve? You having that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
It is about Sergio Aguero, and it is from Aguero, Ultimate Football Heroes by Matt Oldfield. Love it. Love that quote. And yes, of course, at 5 o'clock later that afternoon, Manchester City did indeed become champions of England for the first time in 44 years.
That rather undersells how it happened, really.
Yeah, that was it.
That sounded so easy and like, oh yeah, we turned up
not how
in the
I remember
sunshine, we all sang songs, we won the league and we went, oh, no, the heart attack halfway through it didn't help, you know what I mean?
But we did sing songs. This is what it's about, isn't it? How loud they were. Do you remember how loud it was that day?
Awesome. Unbelievable day.
Can you believe it's coming up to 10 years?
I know, I can't believe it. I still watch it most weeks.
And do you still get goosebumps?
100%.
Hope you're all feeling young.
I know, I'm sorry, I've really
Running
aged
theme
us.
tonight, isn't it?
I've really aged us on this show tonight. So we are around under 10 minutes away now from kickoff. If you haven't already, this is the time to get the Manchester City app downloaded onto your device, because that is the best place to get the commentary for this evening games. It is Alistair Mann, joined by the man that scored that Messi-like goal earlier on, Michael Brown. So that is the best place to get your commentary for this evening's games. So, gents, at this point in the show, we like to kind of get your final thoughts, because I tend to find that I forget a bit about the game while we're on the show, and then it gets to this point and I remember, oh my goodness, we're kicking off in like 7 minutes. So Steve, what is your gut telling you right now?
I think it's going to be an interesting game. The lineup says we're going to dominate possession for me. I think Manchester City will win today. I think we'll win 3-0.
Oh, okay. And do you think it will be... Am I going to be nervous today? Am I going to enjoy this?
I think we're going to enjoy it. I think so.
Because I didn't. You were there on Sunday, weren't you?
Yes.
Did you enjoy that?
No. Not at all.
I would really like to enjoy 90 minutes of football tonight. David, how are you feeling?
I agree. I think having seen the team, I'm a lot more at ease because the chances of an upset are always increased when there's a lot of rotation with a lot of maybe debuts, maybe young players who've not played too much, given a bit of experience. That's when the chances of an upset come along. So the fact that he's gone a very strong team, there's a very strong bench. I think they'll be up for this tonight, City. If you want me to put a score prediction,
I do.
I think City could do really well tonight. I'm going to go for 5. I think 5-0.
Oh my goodness! Why did my stomach just jump like that? By the way,
Fernandinho to get one of them.
Right? Okay. If he gets that now, after getting all those book things, I think we're going to start thinking there might be some mystical powers around.
Bit of a time travel.
Yes, indeed. Right. Thank you. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for some of these players as well, Steve, given the fact that we do have a Manchester derby at the weekend. Then we have a Champions League game after that as well. For the players that have just come back from injury, Jesus and Grealish, for the players that aren't regular starters like Ake and Zinchenko, brilliant opportunity for them tonight to try and get themselves into the team going on.
Yeah, 100%. We've got some big games coming up, so Pep likes to freshen it up here and there. It's good to get the players back. This getting 90 minutes today, 70 minutes under the belt, head of the derby on Sunday, it makes sense. And we're going into the business end of the season now, I like to call it. So now's the time where these players need to keep sharp. You never know what's around the corner. And yeah, it's a good opportunity for some of them tonight.
Mystical David. Would you like to predict a man of the match or anything else that we might be seeing in this game?
I have none of those feelings in my gut right now, but maybe we could nail those colours to the mast a bit later on. I'm just thinking it's awful, isn't it? Like there's 2.5 months of the season left, and we're talking about that it's already the business end.
Yeah, every game though now at the minute, the pressure is so much. You can feel it in the away end, and like you say, at weekend we got the job done, but it was Man City's always the same.
I would like it very much after that game at the weekend and the Spurs game before that if we did have a comfortable game tonight that I enjoyed, because otherwise my nerves going into Sunday are just going to be I'm not going to get through the week.
Makes you feel alive though, Natalie. Makes you feel alive. That's what we care about.
Yes, thanks. Well, Big Steve, David, thank you very much for joining me on the show this evening. Thank you all for watching and for joining us. We will, of course, be back at half-time to analyse the first half, to give you another clue in whose stat as well. So you have kick-off in around about 6 minutes now. The best place to get your commentary, you know by now, say it with me, it is on the Manchester City app with Alistair Mann and Michael Brown. The teams are lining up in the tunnel. The FA Cup is back. We love the FA Cup. Enjoy the game, Blues, and especially Alan. Alan, you enjoy seeing both your clubs play this evening. We'll be back at half-time.